Hello friends, let's try to understand how to perform dependent sample t-test or paired sample t-test in Microsoft Excel. A dependent sample t-test, it is also known as paired sample t-test or repeated measure t-test, is a statistical test used to compare the means of two related groups. It is used when the sample subjects are measured twice. So many a time it is known as before after test. So let's take an example. Suppose a company wants to measure the effectiveness of training on their sales executive. So they have collected data before training the sales performance of employee and after training the sales performance of employee with respect to selling units. So here we have data set of selected 20 employees before training their sales performance and after training their sales performance. So we can see here there are two groups, before and after, and these two groups are related, and that's why we can consider that these two groups are dependent on each other, and that's why this test is known as dependent two sample t-test. So let's see how we can frame the hypothesis when you want to perform dependent sample t-test in Microsoft Excel. When we are talking about null hypothesis can be stated as there is no significant difference between means of paired group. It means there is no significant difference between mean of cells before training and mean of cells after training. On the other hand, alternative hypothesis can be stated as there is a significant difference between mean of paired groups. So let's check how to perform dependent sample t-test in Excel. You just have to go to Data tab, click Data Analysis option, and here you can see there are multiple tests are available, and you have to select this, that is t-test paired to sample for means. You just have to click OK. Once you click OK, dataset will ask the variable 1 and variable 2 range. So variable 1 range is this. We have to select this range. For variable 2, we are selecting this range, and you have to check this box, that is label, because we have selected data with label. Hypothesized mean difference we are keeping at 0, and as we have previously noted here, you can see our alpha we are assuming that it is 0.05, and wherever I want output I have to just select that output tab. So right now I'm selecting this cell where I want my output, and yes, we are good to go. Now we just have to click OK. Once you click OK, the table is generated here. So now let's try to interpret what data are coming. So here you can see that the test has calculated before after mean of data. That is what we can interpret from here. Before cell mean is 32.5, and after cells mean is 41, and based on that we have to look for. We are not considering p-value for one tail test. Why? Because we have not stated the directional hypothesis. It means if suppose we have stated that the hypothesis like that after training cells has been increased, then we can consider this as directional hypothesis. In that case it become one tail test and we have to consider this p-value. But in our case what we have stated in hypothesis, there is no difference between before and after. So when we are saying this kind of hypothesis, it is two tail test, and that's why our p-value is 0.009. so that is what I am putting here. So we have to compare this value with 0.01 because that is our alpha. So when we compare this value with 0.05, we can conclude that p value is less than 0.05, and with that conclusion we can reject the null hypothesis and we can accept the alternative hypothesis. So our alternative hypothesis here is that there is a significant difference between mean of pair group. It means there is a significant difference between these two numbers of cells. So what does we can interpret from this interpretation, that our final conclusion will be, we can conclude that the training program had a measurable impact on improving sales performance of the employee. So this is how, if you have data which can be considered as dependent data, which can be considered as before after data, and if it matches all the assumptions of this test, we can run dependent sample t-test or paired sample t-test in Excel. I hope you understood it very well. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.